up, guys? Welcome to another T-Sunny vlog. Hopefully this time I can actually talk and you guys can hear me. I hope my mic issues are finally figured out. So today is an absolute beautiful day in the Sunshine State. I mean, barely any clouds in the sky. Probably about 80-degree weather. For you guys that are up north and covered in ice and snow, I'm really sorry, but you should have moved to Florida. So it's Daytona week, so you have bikes everywhere. It's kind of nice. So yeah, beautiful day. So I actually have a topic to talk about today, and it's more of a serious topic. I know my last couple of videos have been kind of goofy, but this is something I've heard a lot. A lot of bikers get asked this, so I feel like it should be addressed. And as a first topic to actually be able to talk to you guys about it, I think it'd be a great topic. So the topic for today is, why do I ride? Why do I ride a motorcycle? Why do I risk my life to ride my motorcycle everywhere? And to start off with this general question, it's two questions, really. I'm going to answer the second one first. I never risk my life when I ride. I do absolutely everything I can to make sure nothing happens to me. I wear my personal protective equipment. I got my helmet, I got my gloves, I got my steel toe boots, I got my vest with my back protection in the vest. So when it comes to my personal protection, I'm covered. Granted, I know when I get in a wreck and I hit that asphalt, or if I hit a metal car, it doesn't matter. I'm still going to get injured some way, but at least I have myself covered the way that I need to be covered. My motto is, everybody else that is on this road is out to kill me. Simple as that. Everybody else on this road is to kill me. I don't know if this guy in front of me will randomly slam on his brakes. Why he would slam on his brakes randomly, I don't know. But he still could. If somebody was to turn out of that complex right there, I don't know if they'll see me. They might pull out in front of me. Or if somebody behind me doesn't see me, doesn't see my little brake light, I don't know if they're going to run into me. But I'm sure as hell going to sit there and think they are. Because if I think they will, I will react faster. Even though, you know, it's me kind of thinking pretty extreme, I kind of have to do it. Just because I'm afraid of something happening. But that's the answer to the general first question. I have my PPE. I have my personal protective gear. And then my mindset is to make sure I won't get hurt. So now to finally answer the first question, which is why I ride. A lot of people have different answers to this question. There's some people that say, you know, it's the thrill of riding. It's the thrill of being on their bike and being free. It's the rush of going as fast as you can around the corner or stuff like that. My reason differs a little bit. As much as I love all those other things, one of the real reasons why I love riding has to go back to how I started riding. My first ever bike that I ever rode was actually a quad. It was an LTZ 250. It was a little semi-automatic shaft-driven quad. It was so much fun to ride when I was a kid. Would I ever ride it again now? Probably, just to do wheelies, but it was a fun little quad, and my dad taught me how to ride it. This was the first motorized thing I've ever put my leg over, and my dad taught me how to ride it, taught me how to shift gears, how to lean in corners, and all that stuff. And this may not sound significant to you, but to me it was, because me and my dad never had the best relationship. We were constantly butting heads, and we constantly got into arguments. And I don't want to get into too much detail, but me and my dad just didn't have the best relationship. But when we were riding, when he was teaching me how to ride and things like that, it just felt felt right. You know, me and him could finally agree on something, and we loved doing it. About 2 or 3 months later, he ended up getting a Honda CRF 125, I believe. I'm not really good at dirt bikes, but I'm pretty sure that's what it was. And I just remember it being a 2-stroke, I remember it being loud, and I remember it being fast. And we would start riding together in our little tiny yard. He'd always beat the hell out of me because my 250 would never be able to keep up with him. And there's one memory I really remember very, very vividly, and it's probably one of the main reasons why I keep riding today. And it'll actually answer the question of why I ride. It was a day when me and my dad actually took our bikes outside from our little yard to a back of the hole riding area where, you know, one of those places where if you got caught, you'd be trespassing technically. So one of those areas. And we went out riding, and the very first thing I did was get my quad stuck. Not even 5 minutes off the trailer, I get my quad stuck. And I'm crying because I don't think we can get it out. And my dad's laughing his ass off, and he's like just laughing and telling me to shut up and push. And we eventually got it out, and it was a fun time. We rode for probably about 3 or 4 hours, and we got out of the woods, and there were the train tracks right next to it. I guess what my dad decided to do was to like just take off down the train tracks and try to get the mud off the tires so we didn't put it back in the truck dirty. So I followed him because I thought he was just being an asshole. So I followed him and turn around, come back, and all I remember is him taking off his helmet with the biggest grin ever, laughing his ass off. And that was the first time I really saw my dad legitimately happy. And sorry, it's a really emotional thing, really thinking of stuff like that. It's memories like this that make me absolutely love riding. And it's the memories that I've made on this bike, memories that I'm going to make on the bike. And if it wasn't for a motorcycle, if it wasn't for having my leg over this and meeting all these people that I've met, I would have never had any of these memories. I have stories to go tell other bikers, my kids, and it's nice, all because of a motorcycle. A motorcycle has given me these memories. So that's why I ride. It's gotten me out there. It's taught me things. It's taught me things about myself. And if it wasn't for a motorcycle, I would have never been able to do it. I want to end this vlog on another story. It's a short story. And this story is of why I'm going to continue riding. Why I'm always going to have a bike in my life. When I first got my very first motorcycle, that was actually registered under my name, not my parents or not any of my friends. I rode it from Fort Wayne to Marion, back in Indiana, on I-69, and I met up with an old timer. And I know a lot of you riders, you know, that they'll just ride with whoever randomly, and you know, you kind of get a bond from it just by riding on a highway. And I pull off because I'm thirsty, all of a sudden to drink, and he follows me. And he's taking a look at my bike. He's one of those old timers that don't mind looking at other people's bikes, you know, other, you know, Jap bikes. You know, if you ride, you ride. And that's what he told me, you know, if you're on 2 wheels, you're on 2 wheels. And I hope to be an old timer like that, you know. But I don't care if it's a Harley, or I don't care if it's a Jap bike, I don't care if you're on a Ducati. don't care if you're a weekend warrior, you're on that bike, you're riding, you're a rider. And we were just bullshitting around, complimenting each other's bikes. His bike was a old beat up shovel head, but it's probably one of the strongest running bikes ever. And I went in, got a Red Bull. He went in, got some coffee, and we sat down at a table and we talked a bit. And we were talking about some stories that we had, and he was telling me about traveling all the way to Sturgis, and I'm telling him about a bunch of guys I ride with and stuff like that. And when I first got my bike, how I tipped it over as soon as I rode it. Different stories like that. And after a while, I noticed it got dark out. We've been probably in that truck stop for probably about 2 or 3 hours, just throwing back stories. You know, I said, hey, listen, man, I gotta get going. I gotta get home. And he told me, oh, really? Because I can get another coffee, and I've got another 2 hours worth of stories to tell. That old timer right there, that guy who told me he had another 2 hours of stories to be able to tell me just from riding a motorcycle. That's what I want to be. I want to be that guy who can sit there and say, how much time you got? Because that depends on how many stories I can tell you. This is why I ride, guys. I ride for that freedom, not the memories. So to the new riders, to the old riders, to the people thinking about riding, and to the naysayers for motorcycles, the reason why I ride is I ride for the memories. The thing I would never be able to do without a motorcycle. The people I would have never been able to meet if I didn't have a motorcycle. So with that, guys, thanks for sticking with me for this long extended vlog. And remember, keep your head up, your eyes open, and keep the rubber on the road. I'll see you guys later.